Hello, this is a new series of shiurim on astrology. Tonight I'm going to be talking about how to square the circle, which is a big inyan in mystical astrology, especially mystical Jewish astrology. I've never seen anybody that really, I've never seen a book that really talks about it in the English language. So we're going to give a little bit of an introduction. Squaring the circle basically shows you how to get around the circle. You have to understand that in the mystical tradition, especially the mystical Jewish tradition, 10 is the number of fulfillment. In other words, the cause, the effect of a given cause is 10 signs away. For example, the cause of the first house causes the 10, right? Because it's 10 signs away. So the person makes his destiny. 1 goes to 10, and that's destiny. If your destiny is good, then you're going to have a life partner, because 10 goes to 7. All right? If your destiny is good, there's going to be people that are going to want to join in with you and share your life with you. So if 10 is good, if 1 is good, then 10 is going to be good. If 10 is good, 7 will be good. And if 7 is good, then you'll have a home, because 7 comes to 4. To the house of the home. In Jewish, in the Talmud, it says, a famous rabbi used to always say, he never called his wife, he called his wife his home. And that's the secret of what he's saying here, is if you have a marriage partner that's good, you'll have a home. You'll have a good home. And so that's squaring the circle in its simplest way. And we'll talk more about it because that's just the very beginning. There's another idea I want to talk about, that there's squaring the circle going backwards. In other words, when you have a circle, I mean, the question is, where's the starting point of the circle? The circle, there basically is no starting point on the circle. Or there is no... Or let's put it a different way. If what we're doing now, there's 2 ways to go around the circle. You can go clockwise, or you can go counterclockwise. So the thing is that if you go, the normal way to go is counterclockwise. You go from 1 to 2. From the first house to the second house, then from the second house to the third house. And you continue in that way till you get 10 signs away, you get the 10th house. But that's, in mystical astrology, that's talking about in a very, let's put it this way, it's talking about a very worldly way. That's the worldly way around the zodiac. 1 goes to 10, 10 goes to 7, 7 goes to 4, like we just talked about. How do we know it's a worldly way? Because if you start at the first house and go to the second house, what's the second house? It's the house of money. And so that's the way of the world. The first thing you do is you got to get money. If you have money, then you can get everything else. And so that's the starting point in, if you go around the zodiac in a counterclockwise way, that's talking about in a worldly way around the zodiac, a secular way around the zodiac. There's another way around the zodiac. If you go from 1 to 12 and you go clockwise, so you go to the 12th house. What's the 12th house? In mystical astrology, the 12th house is the soul, right? Why? How do we learn what the 12th house is? We say that it's the house of secret enemies. right? But what's the secret enemy? The main secret enemy is the soul. There's a tug of war between the body and the soul. And so the soul is the enemy, the secret enemy of the person. What the person desires is not necessarily what the soul wants. And so there's a natural struggle there. So if you go from 1 to 12, that's the spiritual approach in life. 1 to 12, 12 to 11, 11 to 10. Okay? And let's take a look at it, how you would square the circle going backwards. How would you square the circle going backwards? You start again at 1. But now 1 fulfills itself in the 4th house. Right? Because you're going backwards, 1, 12, 11, 10, until you get 10 signs away, which is the 4th house. What's the 4th house? That's the home. So really, in a mystical approach to life, the home becomes the most important thing. You want to build a home and a family. You want to have a home and a family, and you want to have the first commandment in the Torah is to be fruitful and multiply. And so you want to have a family, especially a big family, and then you have and you raise them in the proper way, that they'll have a good life, and they'll have more children, and they'll grow. And so that becomes in the mystical approach, that's the most important thing, as opposed to the secular approach where the career is the thing. Go to America, what's the first question everybody asks you? What do you do for a living? Right? You've heard that before. Everybody, what do you do for a living? So America went to one extreme where they forgot about the family to a large degree. And they suffer now tremendously in America because of that they pulled, because the 10th is the open enemy of the 4th. If the husband's working and the wife is working and they don't have time for children, everything is so expensive. How can you afford children? Right? That's America. I have a sister in America. She got a kid. He's loaded, but he can't get married. Doesn't have enough money. He only got a couple $1 million stashed away. Not enough to have children. I don't know. I don't want to tell you jokes. But anyway, so that's the. In other words, that's America. So they ignored it, and there has to be some kind of balance, because actually most people go around the zodiac both ways. But let's tell you, first of all, I'll tell you the way to get around. Then I'll tell you how you do both together. But anyway, you get to the 4th, so you have a home. And if the home is good, see, the 4th house also rules the home of the person. If a person comes from a good family, and he's got good genetics and good this, and maybe he has some, important rabbinical figures in his family tree, and it's going to bring you a good 7th house, right? You get a marriage partner who wants that, who wants somebody who's got good genes, good genetic material, who comes from a very morally upright family. And so that way the 4th will go to the 7th. And then if the 7th is good, then you'll be able to have a career also, because you'll have a wife at home that take care of the kids and raise them, and you'll be able to devote yourself to doing what you have to do. And sometimes the wife will work and you'll stay home. But it can be done either way. I mean, in the religious world, sometimes the men learn and stay home part-time, and the woman work, the woman. So there's ways to do it, but in each case, you don't want to just go one direction. In other words, if you just go for the home and there might be no money, and which could eventually destroy the home. And if you just go to the career, too much in the career direction, well, you're just not going to end up, you won't have children, you won't have too much money, and if you do have children, they'll be neglected, and because you both at work. So there's two different ways to go around the zodiac, and the importance is to decide which of the two ways is most important and how much time you devote each. And that is squaring the circle. And we'll continue with these lectures next time. Thank you for listening.